Well, so much for that social media break, because this one's been festering with me for well over a week now, and I have to say it. I mean, I am deeply disturbed by the senseless murder of Charlie Kirk. I mean, regardless of whether you agreed with his politics, this tragedy speaks to something far more dangerous than one man's opinions. It reflects a culture that has lost the ability to tolerate disagreement, a society that now resorts to violence rather than debate. I mean, we should all be disgusted, not only by the act itself, but by the mindset that fuels it. I mean, when did we reach a point where an opinion is treated as a crime? I mean, disagreement used to spark conversation and compromise, and at worst, an argument over coffee. But today, it sparks hatred so blinding that it can justify destroying another human being. I mean, that's not progress. It's regressive. It's barbaric. But I think part of the blame rests squarely with the media. I mean, they were once trusted to inform, and many outlets now seem more interested in shaping narratives than reporting facts. They misrepresent individuals whose views they oppose, painting them as dangerous extremists rather than simply dissenting voices. Now, this relentless vilification creates an environment where ordinary people begin to believe that silencing someone is not only acceptable, but righteous. When headlines strip nuance away and substitute opinion for fact, they condition their audience to see opponents not as fellow citizens, but as enemies. So is it worth asking how much blood is on the hands of those who knowingly fuel this fire? But we also have to confront the role of the universities. These institutions were once the bastions of free thought, where young minds were challenged to wrestle with diverse perspectives. And now a number of them have become echo chambers, where dissenting ideas are treated as heresy instead of cultivating critical thinking. I mean, they too often train students to fear and despise anything outside their ideological comfort zone. So is it any wonder then that so many graduates enter the world convinced that disagreement equals hatred, and that those with opposing views must be dehumanized or even eliminated? The universities carry immense responsibility in shaping the next generation, and right now, a number of them are failing miserably. But politicians also bear equal, if not greater, responsibility, because many now thrive on division, turning every issue into a battlefield where compromise is painted as weakness. I mean, they weaponize rhetoric, labeling opponents as enemies of democracy, threats to freedom, or even existential dangers to society. I mean, this language is just careless. It's corrosive, and it teaches people that opponents are not fellow citizens, but villains to be destroyed. I mean, we've watched leaders abandon statesmanship for sound bites designed to inflame the electorate. They demonize entire groups for sound bites, social media shares, and votes come election time, and knowing full well that these words stoke hostility in the streets. I mean, politicians once had the power to cool tempers, and today too many just pour gasoline on the fire. I mean, if leadership means anything, it should mean refusing to profit from polarization. And honestly, let's ask ourselves, what happened to compromise, debate, and discussion again? These were once the lifeblood of democracy, and without them, I mean, I can't see how freedom survives. A healthy society depends on the ability to listen, to argue, and to leave the table still respecting one another, even when agreement is impossible. Instead, we're raising generations that believe compromise is honestly betrayal and debate is dangerous. That mindset does not strengthen democracy, it fractures it further. Now, consider Stephen King's post on X, in which he falsely claimed Charlie Kirk advocated for stoning gays. That post reached almost 30 million people before King sheepishly admitted it was untrue and deleted it. But the damage was done. Millions saw the lie. Only a fraction saw the correction. I mean, this is the new normal in our digital age. Lies travel at light speed while the truth just limps behind. And King's a man of influence. He bears responsibility for the falsehood he spread. But words have power, especially when they're broadcast to millions. But if you can't ensure the accuracy of your statements, you have no business making such claims. Freedom of speech does not absolve anyone of the duty to be truthful. So the question is, Are we still capable of pulling back from this steep cliff? Because the alternative is a world where, let's face it, I mean, you're looking at a civil war. It's not a metaphor anymore, it's a reality. I mean, do we truly want to live in a society where disagreement justifies destruction? But you know what? The solution's not complicated, but it requires, well, call it courage. I mean, the media has to rediscover their integrity. Universities must recommit to intellectual diversity, and politicians especially have to stop exploiting fear for votes and return to governing. Influencers must understand that truth matters more than scoring points or gaining monetization. And we as citizens must relearn the art of disagreeing without dehumanizing each other. Man, I tell you, the comet joke is a tempting one. Wipe it all away and start fresh. But I believe humanity, it's not beyond redemption. What we need is a little humility. What we need is more restraint. What we need is to remember that the person who disagrees with us is still a person. Because if we can't do that, then the world we leave behind will be far darker than the one we inherited.